how I come up with ideas is I'll go into ChatGPT, I'll say search up my company or my name and give me 20 content ideas for this niche or industry.
If you're a gym owner, what are the people that you want to attract and how do you make content to attract them?
You have to have a great idea that can either disrupt the market, entertain them, or give them, immense amount of value.
I think a way that you can disrupt is almost showing the other side of it. There has to be some negatives.
Something I've been talking to agents about currently is creating content with local business owners.
Taking what works in movies and TV shows and bringing it over to social media.
We created 8 videos in one day.
Are you doing what you actually say that you do?
The secret for e-commerce brands is their as well as current hot takes in the industry.
All right, stop talking. All right, welcome back everybody for episode 5 of Rethink. In this episode, it's just us two.
Yeah.
Just me and Will chit-chatting. We're gonna be going over current trends and content ideas that business owners and small business owners can use in their content creation world for their business.
Yeah.
So, Will, starting off, what do you think that small businesses or just businesses could incorporate on how to do content?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just getting started, obviously. You want to just start, just press record. I think that's the hardest part for so many business owners. And so just getting started and then, how I come up with ideas is I'll go into ChatGPT, I'll say search up my company or my name and give me 20 content ideas for this niche or industry.
Right.
And then boom.
And that's the biggest thing that people need to realize is that they need to target the specific audience that they want.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing, because they could go viral, they could create all this viral content, but what is it actually doing? Is it reaching the right audience? Is it actually valuable to the audience? Is it creating emotion? I think that's the biggest thing about video, is that you need to create emotion within the video. Because if you're watching, think about it from an average consumer standpoint, when you're watching a video, you want to feel something. And the best videos that you see are often the ones that make you feel something afterwards. That even goes for movies and TV shows and even social media content.
Yeah.
So it's taking what works in movies and TV shows and bringing it over to social media. I think that's why movies are dying also. Yeah.
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 Movies are dying. Expand on that.
Actually, movies, bro, nah. Movies hit.
Yeah, movies will hit.
Yeah, it's more so the broadcast news stations and
Yeah.
stuff that are dying. That's the stuff that I don't like.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. So going right into it, let's talk about content for gym owners. Let's start there. We'll go niche by niche. But what do you think gym owners can do to create content that could go viral or just content in general?
I think the biggest thing is showcasing their space, showcasing the gym's space. Yeah, because if you're just looking for a gym, say somebody's looking to go to a gym, they want to know what the gym offers. What kind of gym is it? What's the vibe? Are you going to a Planet Fitness? Are you going to a bodybuilding gym? So what is the kind of people that you want to, if you're a gym owner, what are the people that you want to attract and how do you make content to attract them? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And even just thinking practically, breaking down myths, or what we like to talk about a lot is disrupting the market. What I did for a personal trainer back in the day was we really disrupted the market. And I didn't even know I was doing that. But we created content that was things like, you have to eat salmon to gain muscle. Random stuff like that.
But it's you don't say stuff that's entirely true, did you?
We did.
Okay.
If you think about,
you're kind of exaggerating it.
You exaggerate.
You only have to eat salmon.
Or it's
obviously you can eat other things.
Yeah, you can obviously eat other things.
And I've noticed that within content,
Yeah.
you almost have to exaggerate the truth a little bit.
You do, yeah.
And also, does that almost compromise the creator's credibility by?
That's a good question.
Kind of exaggerating things like that.
Yeah, and I think it comes from authenticity. It's as long as you believe what you're saying, the trainer I was working with ate salmon every day. He lived it. So it's
that's crazy.
It
That's
wasn't
insane.
lying. It was he did that and he was just expressing how he got there.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's not one way to do everything, but it's like he was just saying his way, and that's what a lot of gym and personal trainers are doing online right now. Is like they have their way.
Do you think you need to disrupt the market in order to be in order for it to be successful content?
Definitely,
You do.
definitely.
Okay.
There's no, I mean, videos that I've had hit, they've all been disrupting. Like it's things that are different. Like my Sheen one, for example. It's like it was a breakdown on Sheen, and I think it was successful because of the controversy behind it right now.
Do you think that translates more to views? I think disrupting is for getting views. That's the way I view it.
I mean, definitely, it's just like disrupting the market to build your brand.
But if you are catering videos to your specific audience, I don't think you need to necessarily disrupt the market. You just need to, like, think about the ARPWave video that we just created. He wants to create a video just showing the audience what they do, who they are. They don't need to disrupt.
But they are disrupting because their device is the disruption. It's the new thing.
Okay.
So there's always disruption to make it good.
Okay. Yeah. No, that actually does make sense. Now that you say that, because now I'm thinking back to the video when he was saying, like, this is the new wave.
Yes. So
also, that was really good marketing, by the way.
Their current belief.
New wave.
How do you get where they're at and take them to that other level of, like, to believe something new? Mm-hmm. Like when you started in the gym, you probably did things that you don't do anymore, and now you're doing something more efficiently. It's
believing something new.
Yes.
That's a good one. How are we?
Disrupting.
How's Rethink Media disrupting?
I think our whole brand is disrupting. Like,
yeah.
Just doing everything like differently.
You know what it starts with?
What does it start with?
I don't know. I coming out of high school, I kind of felt lost, and then I knew I wanted to do this camera stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, do I need to go to college?
Yeah.
Should I follow this path that everybody else is on? But no, let me go this way. I'm going the other way, man. I'm not following everybody else. I'm going the other way, and look at where it's got us. Like, if I didn't go the other way, you and I wouldn't have met.
Bro.
Do you think you can kind of relate to that? Like, do you think you saw people going one way and you wanted to go the other way?
100%. And I mean, I saw it. I think luckily for me, it was in high school, just because I was like, you know, I knew college wasn't going to work for me. I didn't learn like that. I didn't think like that. And so it was like doing something where I could be working at it versus like learning about all these other things I didn't care about. And then, okay, maybe I have one class that's like film.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like what I wanted to do. How was it for you in the sense of you did go to college, and then like after college is when you decided, you were like, why did I?
As bad as it sounds, I mean, I'm very grateful that my parents were able to put me through college. So I did do college, but after I was done, it was like, what was all that for?
Yeah.
It was just a 4-year vacation. That's what it was, man. And like, it sucks to say that. I'm very grateful that my parents were able to do that for me. But it just, I don't know, man. I'd say it does teach you to kind of be like, it almost just taught me independence.
Yeah.
But that was just living on my own. That wasn't necessarily like the classes that I was in. It was just living on my own in a new state, making new friends. It was more so those skills that were more valuable to me. And if I didn't learn those skills, then I wouldn't have been able to go apply for that job that I got down there, which was Husker Vision.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned 80 to 90%, like a big, massive chunk of what I know now about cameras and lighting and audio and all the whole world of content creation. I mean, those guys down in Nebraska in the content space, working with sports, shooting, planning, these shoots and content creation has taught me just so much about how to plan it for a shoot, how to execute a shoot, even just communication with clients. So I credit those guys down in Nebraska for teaching me all the things that I know about cameras and editing. One good story was that this creative director that was down there with the Huskers, shout out Lyle was his name, not Kyle, Lyle. Love that boy. But he I don't know, like I almost felt like special when I was down there. Cause when I got there, they were like immediately treating me like, oh, the big shot editor is here. And I'm like, bro, I'm just a guy. Like I just created a high school hype video for the basketball team here in Chaska. Like I don't really feel like anything special. Like these guys are creating videos that are getting put up on the big screen at Nebraska. And I'm just a guy that created a YouTube video for myself. But this creative director, he kind of took me under his wing, and he told me that. He said, like, I see the potential in you, and I want to make sure that I make you great. He wants to help me to be great. And hearing that also motivated me too.
Yeah.
It's just like somebody that believes in you that can make you just go so far.
That's so good.
Yeah, man. So that's that story, and having somebody that believes in you just goes a long way. Have you struggled with like people believing in you, and do you feel like your work is seen by other people?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Or like, do you feel validated in the content that you create?
Yeah, it's definitely something like anything we make, we want. Like deep down, you kind of want validation. I mean, just in anything you do, you want people to like it, right?
Like, oh yeah, your stuff is good.
And it's like, so when I make videos, I'll show my mom, I'll show my family, I'll show my fiance, and I'm like, is this good? And it's just something that's it's super interesting. Like, I mean, you definitely want the validation, but at the end of the day, like, at least I'm fulfilled like through Christ, so it's.
There you go.
I mean, it's like I don't need validation.
That's your why.
Yes.
And maybe, man, that's just an interesting topic to get into, is your why.
Yeah.
Your why is definitely
faith.
Yeah. I can see that with you for sure.
Yeah. Well, do you want to go into the next one? How can real estate agents make content?
Dude. Real estate agents, when you and I started working together last summer, probably 10 months ago, I shot my first ever property showcase video, and that was just going through the house and showing what it looks like. But I guess maybe you could speak more on that. You as a real estate agent, what kind of content needs did you see? That you like you were a real estate agent in the past. What kind of content needs did you see that you needed?
I think definitely goes back to disruption, creating content that's different. Something I've been talking to agents about currently is creating content with local business owners. So creating content where you can interview them, that could be clipped up into a ton of different content. You can do things like property showcases, obviously, but if you're doing property showcases, we're figuring out that, I mean, everyone does that, so you have to do it different. We either have to make it super luxurious, where it's like super highly, clean, smooth transition, like it's really good, or the opposite, where you've seen these fast transitions.
Almost like make fun of it? Or
yes. They're making like where they call them speed tours.
Yep, the speed tour guy.
And you go, you just running through, like, sits on the toilet. Like.
I think, that's cool. I think when I think about it, when you think about disrupting the market, I almost think the market, without disrupting it, is like the luxurious video. That's the type of vibe that you get from it.
Yes.
And me as like not a real estate guy, that's my perception of it.
Yeah.
I think a way that you can disrupt is almost showing the other side of it. Like like there has to be some negatives to the real estate world.
Yes.
There has to be some annoying things that go on, blah, 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 this and that, the other thing. I don't know what the negative things are about the real estate world, but like, how do you think somebody could be more authentic and show, the failures?
Yeah, that's so good.
Versus just the successes.
That's good.
I think that's something that people need to show more of, is failures and showing that you are human.
Yeah.
Is there any ideas that you can think of that are like?
Yeah, that's really good. And I first thought back to when I was making content for real estate for my own brand, and I talked about like how commission is broken down. Yeah. That was something I feel like a lot of agents didn't want to talk about, how much they make and things like that. So breaking that down, people like understood it. They're like, oh. So,
and that helps other real estate agents.
Yeah, so it helps
like
other
understand
agents.
that whatever's going on.
And the consumers and clients like, oh, I'll probably have to pay this much. Or buyers, they're like, well, then technically, yeah, that doesn't really, I don't have to really pay an agent then. But, yeah.
Is there ways that AI, do you think, could be implemented in the real estate game?
Yeah, AI in real estate, like, I think they could give their consumers devices and different things they could be using. Like giving them tips and tricks as far as what AI can help them with. AI has already helped them with like property searches and making that process super easy. So just breaking that down, like showing them, okay, we'll be able to set you up exactly what you want. But just going deeper than that too. It's like you said, getting into things where people want to hear these stories and like maybe like, oh, this is a story that one time this went bad, or maybe a funny client story.
Right. Yeah. And it's even just like being authentic and showing
Yeah.
the whole process from start to beginning. Back, I think in like 2018, when I was just starting to first start with his camera stuff, there was
Yeah.
this guy who was in the real estate game and he was interested in content. And he's like, hey, I want you to film a YouTube video for me. And we want to make it a series where we buy and flip a home. So I would document, from point A to point B. And I thought that was a good idea, but I didn't really take it at the time, just because I was young and I was going off to college. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this real estate guy. But
Yeah.
it would have been a good experience. But
That would have been good. See,
Yeah,
you
man.
could have got right out of high school and you probably could
right,
have.
I feel like I had it, but I don't know, man. That's kind of been a constant thing with me. Is like I kind of just put it off a little bit. But anyway, but I only take the right clients. That's what it is.
Yep.
That guy wasn't good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Just kidding. Nah, I'm always open to working with all kinds of people, and
Yeah.
I love hearing the different type of projects that people want to work on too. I mean, like just last week, the guy saw us shooting this podcast, and he peeps in and he comes in. And he's like, hey, do you guys do car videos? And we're like, yep. Let me take your number. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
So it's cool. But thinking back to the real estate thing, I wanted, because when you were talking about the different content ideas for real estate agents, you created like 7 or 8 videos in one day, right? With
Yes.
a real estate agent that
Yeah.
you just got done shooting for.
Yeah.
And some people might be struggling with like what different types of content can I make in the real estate game? And I think of me too. I think of just like a property showcase,
Yeah.
maybe like a video of the agent walking through the home, showing it off, maybe the nearby like parks and schools. So what other types of content what can be created? Like, what do you think?
That's a really good question. And when you said we created 8 videos in one day, I want to touch on that
Well,
too.
that's the
'cause-
value right there for
Boom.
sure, bro. I mean,
Like,
time.
Yes.
The time is like the biggest value.
Yes.
And anyway, yeah. But yeah, you can
Yeah.
keep going on it. So,
Yeah, so I mean, we create 8 videos. We go out and we shoot maybe 3-4 hours, probably around 4 hours of shooting. We're going to usually about 2 different properties. So now we have B-roll from both properties.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, B-roll is the footage you will put over A-roll, which is talking direct to camera. But then we would get B-roll, A-roll, and the different things we would talk about was, she was like, okay, you know what $1 million house looks like? Let's see what it sounds like. So random stuff like that. That was like an ASMR-ish, showing
Implement
what that sounded
sound
like. Yes.
into the videos. Yeah,
That was
like
a good one. She did a storytelling. So storytell like what a client experience was like, and that's why I said what you said was really good. Another thing was the features that the home offered. So we went into soft close drawers, 6-oven stove, so things like that. Like, I mean, just getting into, doesn't have to just be a property tour.
And agents can do that right now.
Right now.
Right now, they don't need to, like you keep saying, is like just press record. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
You can do all that stuff right now.
You can do it. And you realistically, you could go do this with a phone. You could go set up your tripod, get a phone. Some agents just want that higher quality, and that's what we bring is we come out and we shoot, and we get it done for you in that day. So it's like,
Bang.
But you can go, you know, if you don't have the budget for it, you go out, you shoot it yourself. You can edit it super simply. You know, use these tools, AI tools.
How would they edit? CapCut?
You could use CapCut. You could use CapCut would give you simple like caption tools. Obviously, you still got to go learn it. It's still, but another one like Opus Clip that would cut up like a longer form, kind of try and make shorts for you. But that's less of that, I would say. But
I used Opus once.
yeah, it's still not like it's like if you want quality, you got to just
Yep.
yeah.
You gotta go through us if you want quality.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. So thinking back to kind of like the content, the client list here, we've worked with entertainment businesses such as like DJs. What do you think content looks like for them these days, 2025?
Yeah, I mean DJ entertainment companies, like I feel like the content, we have to figure out what makes them different. And I feel like you can talk a lot more on this because you're a lot more involved in this space. So I'll give you that opportunity as well.
Yeah, I mean, entertainment, it's, when I think of the companies that we work with, you can do event recaps. I feel like that's a big one for them. You know, obviously they want to showcase the events that they're at. You know, that gives them credibility.
Yes.
So that's useful to have on social media for them. And then as well as also just showing the personality. I mean, that's what the business is. It's fun. It's oftentimes whoever hires these entertainment businesses, they are relying on them to kind of bring the energy, the fun to the crowd or whatever the event is. So making videos that highlight their personalities, I think, is pretty valuable.
Can you break down, because I just want to talk about how crazy your Timberwolves edit was. And the client loved it.
I appreciate that.
So let's break that down. Like how, going into that, break that down, like vertical, horizontal. I want you to go in depth on that.
Yeah, dude. Breaking it down, I mean, just step one is I love basketball. So that's step one. And so I was already in the environment that I love. And that's also another important thing is, you know, as a creator, you gotta go into what you love. You can't just do something that is gonna make you quick cash. You gotta be passionate about it. Anyway, but Timberwolves video, it's DJs at the Timberwolves game. How can I make that idea into a video? So shout out to the guy that I was recording with, Nick, the DJ. He had this idea of kind of having it be like he pitched this to me. He's like, hey dude, it's like our 10-year anniversary to official DJs of the Minnesota Timberwolves. How can we, you know, make this idea in a video? And I was like, all right, well, you made this video 10 years ago. Let's, you know, mix mash it into past into current. So we started the video. I started the video off, you know, just showing that video from 10 years ago, and then it does like a quick transition, boom, and now we're to present day. You know, just showcasing the audience that we've been doing this for 10 years. And then it just gets straight into kind of like the edit, kind of just showcasing the DJ in the space, pre-game, and then getting into game time, showcasing fans, being fun, energetic. I mean, that's really what the DJ was doing. He was bringing the fun and energy to the crowd, and that's kind of what the video showcases. I was at the game for the whole game, just making sure I captured the vibe. Yeah. The vibe, and also getting different shots too. The cinematic look, getting the various shots, high, above, wide, close, tight. I guess that's another thing too, is that I just now realized is I did that intentionally without even realizing it, is when I'm shooting specific things versus like Nick DJing and then, you know, game or the crowd, it's like it's all framed specifically. So when I'm DJing, when I'm filming Nick DJing, it's more tight and it's you know, it's more energetic, it's fast moving. But then when you're in the crowd, it's kind of just like pinpointing faces in the crowd, showcasing the energy. And then with the wide shots, it's just kind of just showing the environment. Those are kind of easy. Those are fun with the 16mm lens. That's a fun shot to get. So yeah, that's kind of my breakdown of it. yeah, is there anything else that
Yeah.
you want me to touch on with that? Like what kind of questions you would have?
That was really good. I think you got into, and something I noticed you did really well too was how you said you captured like it wasn't just like cinematic slow. You made it like actionable, like it was moving when it was on him DJing, and like it was fast. You're like, oh, the energy's there.
Yeah.
Like that was really cool. Could you break down what cinematic even means?
What does cinematic mean? I mean, dude, it's so crazy. Like, what do you, hang on, what do you, like, what is your idea of cinematic? I guess, hang on, my idea of cinematic is like the way things are framed.
Yeah.
That's like number one for me. What's like your number one thing, like when you think of cinematic? Whether it's like a movie or...
When I think cinematic, I think, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the depth of field. Like when you see...
I think it's definitely...
that blurry background.
Camera
that
work.
Blurry background.
Yeah,
is
for
like,
sure. The bokeh.
Yeah, the bokeh.
I think it's definitely like camera. It's just specifically camera work.
Yeah.
There's so many people on set on a movie, and to make it cinematic, I think is heavily relied on the camera people. I don't know. I've never worked on a movie set before, but that's something that I would love to do one day. And I think I have a good eye for a cinematic look. I mean, cinematic could mean a different thing for a lot of people.
It can.
Cinematic could be just wide shots on a tripod, you know, still shots.
Yeah.
Or cinematic could be gimbal shots for some people. I think it just comes to creative freedom and that specific creator's definition of cinematic. So maybe my definition of cinematic would be a mix of framing. I don't want a cinematic video, just to be one style. I think it should have a mix of wide, close, medium.
Yeah.
You know, different angles from the top down, from the bottom up. That's a good angle too. That's one of my favorites. Is a hero shot. So say you're filming an athlete. You know, you're down low and you're filming his whatever jersey, the back of his jersey coming out of the tunnel. Like that's cinematic to me.
Dope shot.
Wide, boom. That's cinematic.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, even, you know, going on to the next, you got something?
I'll let you finish, or I want to finish this thought. I think also implementing this into our clients' work too. I want to make sure that I bring my talents into our clients' videos. I think I have something to offer, which is, you know, like I told you, my eye for a good shot. And I think if I'm filming a video for a client, I want to make that video look as good as possible. So making sure it looks as cinematic as possible, making it look like a movie. You know, that's my goal for sure.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, and I mean, even going into that, like, how can these wedding, I mean, yeah, I guess you're not really filming your own wedding, but how can wedding videographers, I guess, you know, how can we create wedding content? Or what are ideas that maybe are, you know, disrupting different?
I think disrupting would be social media content.
Yeah.
Like, so offering that in the package. I think a lot of wedding videos right now are just the, you know, 5-minute highlight video of their day. And actually just like telling their story. That's a big thing too. It's not just a mashup of, it's not just like a music video.
It's not just a day.
You can't just throw music in the timeline and throw a montage of their clips in together. You have to tell their story, dude. They're paying you to tell the story of their wedding day. And how do you tell the story? Well, you know, you go audio, you go edit, you know, pacing in the video, and that all comes down to editing. But I think you can shoot it in a specific way, but it's not as important as like when you're sitting down to edit it. I think that's when the real creativity comes out.
Comes alive in editing for sure.
Yep. So, I mean, yeah, you could shoot it perfectly, but did you capture audio the right way? Did you light the speeches the right way? Did you capture the, you know, audio and the speeches the right way? So, and did you capture the intimate moments between the couple? And did you communicate with the couple? Like, do you want this in the video? Do you want that in the video? So yeah, you can't just like show up on the wedding day and be like, hey, I'm shooting your wedding. You know, actually caring about the client and their story.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of story is their wedding? Story. So I think like, the one wedding that we have coming up is 2026. It's funny that we say it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be here just like that. Even though we booked it like a year.
We got more.
And
yeah, we have multiple.
yeah, even though we booked it like a year plus in advance, I think it's gonna come up really quick.
So fast.
So, we're excited for that. And their story is different than a regular old wedding. So, it's just like, how do we tell that story?
Yeah, that one's going to be good. And I think, something that's going to be definitely turning around in 2025 and 2026 especially is just weddings that are different. I think people are going to want things differently than how they've been done before. I heard, shout out, Nick again, with they're saying where they're seeing it going is now more all black weddings. So the theme is just black.
Like everybody's wearing black?
That could be that. I think they might have said something about
a black wedding dress.
Yeah, I mean, I've even heard something like that. That's
No way.
that
would be kind of cool.
But then the whole scene is just dark, and it's like that's the vibe. So
interesting. And Nick also said that wedding DJs used to be known, like kind of like shamed in the industry, because they're not really mixing and mashing, and that's how he's rethinking weddings too. So, it's just doing something different, and actually, I don't know, it's just bringing a whole level of different care to the wedding world. Also, like social media clips too.
Yes,
I've seen that recently. That's really disrupting the market. People don't even want a videographer there. They just want somebody with a phone just recording their day.
Yeah.
And one of my friends' girlfriends is actually, like, she has her own business that way.
Wow.
So I'm sure she makes a good amount. And all that she has to do is...
And is she doing live streams, or is she doing...
I think it's just content creation. I don't know her, I don't know the business model that she has, but I'm sure it's, I can create you 3 reels. I can create you 5 reels. And it's probably all like that.
You literally...
So she probably has to edit it like right away.
But
like during the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever there's a break in the wedding day, she probably has to edit it. But I don't know. I think me personally, you're getting married soon.
Yeah.
But I think me personally, I would want that, 5-minute wedding video to kind of showcase the story.
Yeah, that's something. We're just doing photography, but we were talked about it a lot. Like, we'd have you do it, but I don't like. He's a groomsman, so there's no one else that I even know that I'd be like, oh.
There's no one that you would trust.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I might as well just not.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's a good thing to think
I heard,
about.
you might do little stuff here and there, but.
Video?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Like in my wedding one day?
Or at ours, you were like, you might like.
Oh, yeah, I might just bring my camera.
But.
And
No, there's no.
As long as you pay me.
Yeah, right. Tip you.
No, I think I would want a video at my wedding.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Who would you go with?
Who would I go with?
Yeah.
I'd probably find somebody from Nebraska.
Okay.
Because I told you, dude, like there's a couple guys that I know from Nebraska, and they do content, and they're killing it. And those are the only people that I would trust too, because I know the level of care that they put in their videos.
Real.
Those are the people that I learned from too. I'm gonna name drop, dude. Frick it.
Yeah.
Sam Rice, Ethan Weldon, Lyle. Lyle was the creative director.
Yeah.
Those are just like the 3 names that I think of right away. I didn't even know how to grade S-Log or something.
Yeah, and they hooked you up.
And then he hooked me up, dude. All those guys are awesome. So definitely attribute all of my success to them. Who would you attribute to your success to?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's but if we're talking practical, along the way.
Like, who have you learned from? Was there anybody that?
The biggest help, my best man Josh has been a big help, just on the business side of things. He's helped a lot. He's given me opportunities, but there's also, you've helped me a ton with the practical stuff of camera work. I remember I would ask you random questions.
Before we even go into that, I think that's why I love working with each other, is because you complement my weakness and I complement
Yes.
your weakness.
Yeah.
And to bring that together,
It's just perfect.
it's just perfect. It creates this perfect match. I think we're just a dual threat. I mean, you can't be stopped especially with my knowledge of this and your knowledge of that. Boom, come together. It's like you can't ask for a better team.
It's good.
But yeah, I mean, I think you said your weakness was like camera technical stuff.
Yeah, that was a huge weakness, and I think you definitely helped me so much with that. Like, just you taught me. I forgot what I asked you. I didn't even know how to format a card and things. Like,
was that like information that you didn't know how to get before?
I could have gotten it, but it's like having someone there that I could just be like, okay, because how would I even have known to ask that question? You know?
And then maybe did I ever like simplify like, did you ever ask me a question and I was like, actually, you should do it this way or something?
You're like, oh, you're talking about formatting. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. How do I delete files off
Yeah,
my
right.
SD card?
I was like, I was just deleting them.
I remember that, dude. We were on a shoot, and I was like,
You're like, you have no space.
this is funny. Dude, this is a good story. Will and I were at a shoot, and Will's like, we had like, it was like a full day shoot, like a 10-hour shoot, and we were on like hour 2, and we had like 8 more hours of recording, and Will's like, dude, my SD card is full. I'm like, are you serious right now? And you had like a 32 gigabyte. I don't even know actually. Was it?
No,
it
it
was
was probably.
It might have been like a 60.
120.
120, and it was full.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, was that the first time that it
Yeah, it was
got
like
full?
the first time. I was like.
Yeah. And then we like.
I think at that moment you were like, did you format it? I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, dude. So then we rushed over to the computer, and I'm like panicking. Will's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like trying to download. I'm like trying to transfer the footage that we just recorded that day. I'm like to the computer, and then I ended up deleting some files.
Yes, and it was like important.
And I was like, God. But luckily we had 2 cameras on set,
Yeah.
so we just kind of lost one angle. But we had to explain that to the client, and at first he was like, "What?" But then we're like, "It's fine.
we'll just use one.
We can just use that one camera."
It's like at least we have it.
Yeah. But that's a funny story, dude. So it's just all about learning, and also learning from experience too.
And
It's
mistakes,
just-
bro.
it's just-
Failures.
Failure
Learn
is
from the failures.
important. Failure is important, dude. And it's like the people that get, what's the word I'm looking for? People that get discouraged from failure, they gotta get past that.
Yeah.
They need to get past that. It's a need, like you must get past that. Failure is just another step to success. It's like the 1 step back, 2 steps forward type thing. And it's just like, once you make that failure, I'm almost like excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, bet. I just learned, boom, 2 steps forward.
Boom.
So now, but I mean, thinking about my weakness, I was, just starting. I think that's when I first started realizing my weakness was, kind of like the business end and on how to negotiate deals and pricing and packages.
Yeah.
I had gotten my first client, and it's like, yeah, we can make cool videos. We can make good-looking videos because that was my strength.
Yeah.
This was with that basketball trainer,
Yeah.
and he was just like, we were disagreeing on pricing, and I didn't know how to communicate pricing and packages. And he's like, no, you have to create me packages. So then I created my first package, and I was like, sweet, like I'm like, getting into this like business thing. I'm gonna have my own business, and then that lasted like a month, and it just didn't work out, and the packages what didn't make any sense. So then that's when I came to you, and we just boom joined. And
Yeah, the way you structured your packages was super interesting to me.
yeah,
That was the most interesting.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, did
He
you
was
ever,
like,
is that something that you like understood right from the start? That's a good question for me to ask you. It's like that part of it, like structuring packages and stuff, took me time to like, and I think it's because you've taught me it. But like, did you understand that aspect from the start, from your first client?
Definitely not.
Or did it take a learning experience?
It definitely took learning, but I think of my first, I probably learned a lot of packaging from real estate and just like how that's structured. But as far as video, I was like, I had no idea what people are charging. I had no idea what I should charge. So I started very low too.
And that's normal.
Yeah, it's like you start low.
That's completely normal for somebody to get discouraged on their pricing. I mean, I felt discouraged. I told you what I had been pricing my videos at, and I was like, shoot, like, man, I'm really not where I want to be at. But But then it just took that confidence
Exactly.
to raise my price and say, here's where I'm at, and double down on it. And I think that levels you up in a certain way. If it sounds weird, but if you're not increasing your prices, then you're not growing.
Yeah.
Do you think that's entirely true?
I definitely think so. I think because as you grow, you also see your competition first. So you know what they're charging. You're like, wow, I'm all the way down here. So you're like, I should be upping my prices. And then you're also like, my content's getting so much better.
Yeah. But then what if you are down here? Like, what if you actually are down here and you're not meant to be up here yet? Like,
I think that's still a mindset.
Yeah.
When I was creating my first content, you could probably argue that I was probably getting paid higher than I should have. Because
you just took that leap?
Yeah, just because like I was getting paid pretty good. I mean, it was a lot of work, but for just starting and like I got paid pretty good. And I think that was just because I had the confidence to know I could do that.
And it's not even that you're overpricing it. Like
No, not at all.
Because I don't want it to make it sound like that.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
like if you're not, the way I said it was kind of weird. Like if you're not increasing your prices, you're not growing. Because that's not really, that doesn't really relate to us right now. Because like we're at a healthy spot now. Yeah. But I think it more so comes from like undervaluing yourself.
Yes.
It's when you undervalue yourself is when you can be growing is when I think. And I've had people come up to me recently. Is like, hey, how do I price this? It's like, dude, that's so insane to me because I'm 24 now and I was in his shoes like 2 years ago. Just how do I price this? How do I do that? And it's almost it's cool to have people come up to me and ask me questions because now I kind of feel at a point where like I'm confident in what we do and how we do it, and it's just if you rethink media or die, man. Like if you don't want to go with rethink media, then you're not getting the best video that you can be.
You're not. And I mean there's a lot of that's also where I go back into pricing. I know people that make way worse videos than us and make way more.
That's just
so it's to me it is
though.
Crazy.
That bothers me.
I would say they probably make it's close to double.
That just bothers me.
For phone videos. Yeah.
I
don't know. It's a little crazy, but I think we should go into e-commerce. Let's talk about what content they would benefit from. How can they be making content that will go viral 2025?
I think TikTok, Instagram, YouTube is definitely that alley for e-commerce brands. I know you've done a lot of e-commerce work in the past, like those spice racks and
a lot of products.
The seat covers, and that's the audience that they want to attract is the TikTok audience and the Instagram audience.
Yeah. Because their audience is broad. I mean, it's when you're selling a e-commerce product, your audience is global, and that's the nicest part. Like you can sell online, and that's why building that brand awareness and online presence is so important for e-commerce brands is because they can actually sell to the masses.
So when you think of e-commerce brands who are selling products, they can, I think of, there's many handfuls of examples of e-commerce brands, and it's like, how do they structure their videos? Or do they go the more luxurious route, or do they go the more like the speed tours route, or it's joking, it's fun? What kind of things have you seen in that area? Have there been the luxury e-commerce brand like products, and then also is there like the gimmicky products too that you've worked with?
I think when it comes to e-commerce, I've seen both. I've seen luxury and I've seen phone videos where they're just doing just like this. It's lower quality stuff, but if it works, right? So and that's why it always comes back to the content ideas. You have to have a great idea that can either disrupt the market, entertain them, or give them immense amount of value. So it's like creating like the things I'm seeing. I would say it's a lot of stuff. Like there's this one brand that's doing it really, really different, and it's called Mirrorless Apparel. It's a Christian shoe brand. It's like it looks like Nikes, but it's like Christian shoes, and they're dope. And this kid he's crushing it, and it's just insane seeing what he's doing. And he's creating content that it's like a phone video. And then it's like got like the Snapchat text on it. So it looks like it's just about to be a viral, trendy video. Then he's like, it cuts to, boom, horizontal camera video.
Yeah.
And it's like cinematic, showing like the shoe, showing the creative
process. I have seen these.
So cool.
I have seen those.
So
actually.
Cool, dude.
I have seen those.
That's disrupting.
That's interesting because he's implementing both.
Both. It's crazy. Like it's just so smart.
Yeah, that's smart.
Dude, and he gets crazy views. He has a ton of followers, gets amazing views. Like, I feel like his videos at least get 20, 30 grand, 30,000, yeah.
And these e-commerce brands, are they like, like the typical Amazon products kind of? Or can it be considered, brands that are getting commercials? Like,
they're usually the Amazons. They're like, so a lot of these companies start on their own, and then they'll get into Amazon. So a lot of them start with their own Shopify store. That's what a lot of the companies I worked with did, and then they got into Amazon. Some don't even go into Amazon. Like the seat cover company doesn't go into Amazon.
Yeah.
So
probably because it doesn't make sense for them, right?
Yeah. So it's like they make all their money just from directing it from paid meta ads. So
the one thing that is in common with all these e-commerce brands is that they all have a product to sell.
Yep.
Okay.
So that is what e-commerce.
Yep.
Just like online product sales.
Right.
But so the secret that they're doing is they're taking these organic videos. They're taking these organic
the secret
videos.
What's the secret? What's the secret?
I knew
What's the secret?
Laughing at me over here.
The secret for these,
The secret for e-commerce brands is they're taking organic content that's getting high viewage, and then they're turning it into ad sets, and they're placing it on Meta, and they're just running those continually, and they're generating them. If you know anything about Facebook and Meta ads, like 9 times to 10 times ROAS. I've even seen 8 to 10 times ROAS, and it's
ROAS?
Return on ad spend. So 8 to 10 times.
Yeah, this is all going right past my head.
Yeah.
So
8 to 10 times return on their ad spend. So they spend $1, they're getting 8 to 10, pretty much.
Okay.
That's how it kind of breaks down. But so it's crazy. I mean, and they're doing it from those videos where they're mass producing about anywhere from 15 to 30 videos a month. And they typically are done with the phone, and it's just showcasing the product with a voiceover. Sometimes there's talking head content, but it's mostly just done with a voiceover and B-roll. And that's it. But
ROAS, man.
ROAS.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So thinking about another client that we've worked with is like health and wellness companies. Some areas where I think health and wellness can benefit from would be short form content.
Yeah.
I think just reaching that audience, like saying, with health and wellness that we've worked with, it's more so like, here's what we offer. Here's the treatments that we offer. Here's how you can benefit from them. If you're suffering from this and that, the other thing, here's why we can help you type content. And, making that short form content, also long form content, I think is also beneficial for these health and wellness companies. Because it could be that demographic too, is the people that are sitting down to watch that long form stuff.
Definitely.
People that are going to their website, they want to watch a video showcasing what they're all about. Yeah.
Yeah. And even going on that, this one company we work with, the medical device company, basically, I think something that would benefit them a ton, and I've been thinking about this, is founder behind the scenes content, whether it's long form and then we cut that into short form or just short form, but following him, he goes traveling a ton.
Yeah.
We follow him. We show his interactions, who he's meeting with. He meets with a ton of amazing athletes.
And it's also disrupting. It's also disrupting it.
No one does that.
Because you think of the top healthcare companies, they're all business professional.
Yeah.
I'm freaking suits and ties.
Yeah.
This guy's freaking different, bro.
Going out, he's meeting with these athletes. Like,
Yes.
dude, it would be so. That
Showing
would be
the
amazing.
authentic. That's just the theme here, man. It's just being authentic, showing what you actually do.
Yes.
Like, don't try to put on this image that you're something that you're not, and showing your real value.
Yeah.
And that's going out, showing the athletes that you work with, showing the benefits of your device and how it's improved other people's lives. It's what your audience wants to see.
Yeah. What are other content ideas for health companies that you could think of off the top of your mind? Anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there anything that comes to your mind?
No, I mean, I feel like we touched on, that was the biggest one, I think, biggest opportunity. Other one would be just disrupting, again, figuring out how their device is different. Talk about, this is how you can get rid of X pain or problem.
Yep. I do think the ones that we work with is social media is important.
Yeah.
I think we met with one healthcare company, and they didn't want to. They're not interested in the social media world because that's not their. I don't know, but at the same time, it is their target market, don't you think? Like,
there's always a market. It's just like where they want to spend their hours, and they're a team. And so I get their perspective of they don't have as many resources, and they don't want to work more than they have to, if that makes sense. Like, they already do what they do.
That's
Why do more?
yeah.
They're not the owner of the company, so it's like,
Yep.
It's tough to. But yeah.
It's just showcasing, the product and how it has changed people's lives, and that's the whole health and wellness world. It's how are you different?
Yeah.
Are you authentic or not?
Yeah.
Are you doing what you actually say that you do? Are you doing what you actually say that you do? Yeah. Something like that.
That was good.
So,
I mean, that was good.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to hop into some of these hot takes?
Yeah, let's do some. So we already kind of touched on some, so I kind of want to skip some, but
Okay.
we're going to go through hot takes. We're going to talk about, what's going on in the industry. And let's start on just pick one, whatever you
Okay.
think.
Networking is overrated. Just
Okay.
be good at what you do. Do connections really matter that much, or will quality work always win? I disagree.
I disagree as well. Networking is what got me to where I'm at.
Right.
That got me all my clients. And
Right.
got you the same. It's like,
Yep. Like you talked about earlier, it's like you've seen people with half the skill level and half the
yes,
quality get
more money.
double the prices
Because
that
it's
whatever we're at. So it's based on connection, man. It's all about connection. Be that people's person.
Retention, I would say, is more based on then skill and
Retention.
retention meaning how long will they keep the clients. That's so
Yeah, right.
they it's like, okay, you can probably get clients, but then how long will they stay with you if your quality's not there?
Right. Like, hey, yeah, we got this one video for whatever blank, but that was the last time we worked with them.
Yes,
So it's like,
exactly.
well, why aren't they continuing to
Yeah.
work with you? There must be a reason why. Because you're not that freaking good, bro.
Cool.
YouTube is more valuable than film school. True.
Agree.
True, man. That's how I learned everything. I told you, I've said many times is
Yeah.
I've been up countless nights just researching YouTube and how to, properly use a camera.
Same. That's where, anything that I didn't ask you, or, you were probably the only one I asked. So anything I didn't ask you, I was looking up on YouTube.
Clients care more about actual vibes than actual skill level. A strong personality and confidence will book you more jobs than being technically great.
I guess then it put that way.
You can just kind of, I think that kind of ties into the other one we talked about.
Yeah, I would kind of agree then. Because it would get you more clients, but then it comes back to how long they stay with you.
Didn't Nick talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, he was like, I just loved how you guys were. I mean,
yeah, that's what it was for him. That's one of the most important things. Is just like vibes.
Just vibes. Like if you can't hang out with them, like it's not gonna be fun.
Are they actually good people? Then,
but skill is still so important.
Right.
So it's like.
But if you're a very skillful individual, but you're an asshole,
it's not gonna.
Then
you don't want to work with you.
Bruh, heck no. Most viral content isn't actually good, just lucky or gimmicky. Why talent doesn't always equal success online.
Most viral content isn't actually good, just lucky or gimmicky.
I disagree.
I disagree as well.
I think viral content is lucky sometimes, but there's an idea there. Like you have to. It didn't just happen randomly.
Yes.
It didn't just happen randomly.
And Mr. Beast, he didn't just become the best YouTuber in the world because of luck.
Yeah.
He put in the work. He reinvested everything.
Yeah, and
he made
I've heard crazy stories about all the research that he did too.
Yes, dude.
Just like researching and like he would research his own content to see what is working, what is not working, and
like what thumbnails.
So
you got to be learning and
don't get frustrated when your content doesn't go viral, because oftentimes less viral content could be more valuable.
Yeah.
Than viral content.
Yeah. Because you're reaching that audience that you want to reach.
Yep. And it's like, I was talking to a realtor just recently, Johnny. Yeah. He was talking about, my videos are getting like 1,000 views, but he's like, I realized it's reaching the people that I want to reach. Exactly. So it's like, yeah, that's what it is. You're selling a house in your local area. You're not trying to reach some guy on the other side of the world.
No.
So I'm like,
and
there you go.
We've experienced this very firsthand, especially me. Like I've had one video blow up, and it was on LinkedIn, and it's like the videos that I've gotten thousands of views on, like 1,000 or 2,000 views on, booked me actual jobs versus that one that went viral. It got me people to comment that were in other countries so it's like, it's like you're getting more exposure, and that's what you wanted, but you want to make sure it's quality exposure.
True. Correct. The best camera is not the one you have with you. Why the best camera is your phone mindset doesn't always hold up.
So this is saying the best camera is not the one you have. So this is saying you need high quality equipment. Do you agree or disagree with that? That's tough.
I agree.
You agree with that?
Yup.
I say I disagree. I disagree.
I want to disagree, but just because I want to be disruptive, I'm saying agree.
Okay.
Because I am so passionate about my camera stuff. So I will stand on that hill. I want to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Although I have seen people be successful with just a phone, but I'm sticking to it. I say, and if you want to invest in quality, it's going to show.
And if you want quality to be your disruption, that's also something to think about. So many people are using their phone. What if quality makes you stand out now from?
You need quality. You need the best of the best cameras.
Yeah, you don't want to be the same.
Most freelancers undercharge because they don't understand business, not because they love what they do. This is what I just talked about.
I agree. I mean, they just don't understand it. Yeah.
Wait, not because they love what they do. The harsh reality of pricing in creative work.
They undercharge because they don't understand business. Let's just
Correct.
take that. Yeah.
Correct. But I think that's what it's saying is say somebody like me, when I was underpricing, I could have said, "Oh, it's because I love what I do."
Yeah. But you were just like, you admitted.
But I understood that I was I understood that I wanted to increase my prices.
Exactly.
So
it was just the business mindset.
It's just something that I had to learn.
Negotiation.
It's just all something you have to learn. And as a creative, I think the goal is to take your hobby, this is with anything, you know, painting, videography, and whatever the creative, I don't know, whatever. But your goal is to kind of make it a business. Like, that's always been my goal, is to make a living off of what I love to do.
Yeah.
So it's almost finding a good balance.
Yeah. And the thing is that doesn't always have to be a business. It's interesting, like, my fiance loves doing hair, but she does not want to own a business. She doesn't. So it's like, she loves what she does, but she wants to be with
In a way,
salon
don't hairdressers kind of have to advertise
They do.
themselves,
They're
though?
still
Like,
technically, but
it's almost like a 50.
it's like do you want like the trades, right? You can make a lot of money going into HVAC and all these things, and some people like enjoy that, you know. So it's just like deciding. You don't have to own a business. It's not like, you know, this glorious thing that is amazing. But if it's something, if you don't want to be in a 9 to 5, I mean, it's another option.
Short form content is ruining creativity. Are Reels and TikToks forcing creators to dumb things down too much? I would say it's the opposite. It's almost like increasing creativity.
Yeah, I agree.
To a point where it is still, it's more difficult now.
Yeah.
It's increasing creativity to where it's more difficult to create a creative video.
Because people have gotten so creative with Reels.
Yeah.
So creative.
It's very difficult to have an original idea nowadays.
Yeah.
Good audio is more important than good visuals. Correct. True.
For sure. For sure.
Yes.
That's like
That's all it
something
is.
we've stressed a lot with our clients. It's like we want to make sure the audio is good first. You know? Because, I mean, camera quality is amazing, but I've seen this where people would rather listen to great audio with, you know, iPhone videos than, you know, terrible or with great quality cameras and bad audio.
A good example of that is with the gym videos that I used to make.
Yeah.
I would use my Rode microphones and then just use my phone to record.
Yeah.
And people came up to me and like, dude, those videos are such good quality.
Dude,
how'd you do it? And I was like, it's just my phone, bro. Like, and maybe it's like a psychological thing.
Like,
where
I
it's
literally thought that was your camera.
I literally thought.
Bro.
But like, maybe it's like a psychological thing where it's like, if the audio was that good, it tricks your brain into thinking that that video is, you know, just good quality.
Maybe that's it.
So, man, those hot takes.
That was good.
Good hot takes.
We'll have to keep running those.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. You want to shout out Space?
Yeah, shout out Lansby for letting us use this beautiful space. Luxurious space, very cozy, warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
This is their guest suite.
Very nice space, guest suite. Yeah. So yeah, great podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Touched on a lot of good topics about how business owners in their specific niches can benefit from content creation.
Yes.
And what that looks like and how they can do it today. But also contact us for your content needs.
Yeah.
To make it even better.
Yes. And to save you all kinds of time.
Correct. Yep. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Episode 5. Peace. Peace out.